everyone, it's me, Nancy Finch. I'm not doing another tea with Nan at the moment. I usually do those on a Monday. No, today it's an impromptu one, really. I did give people some warning yesterday saying that I really had to come on here, but it's because of the lunar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse. And basically I had a lot of intuition telling me that I should go onto my YouTube channel and start researching it. And I was given 3 different astrologers by my spirit guides. So I'm waiting for someone to come on here. Maybe they can interact with me and tell me what they think about this situation with the lunar eclipse. So if anyone's listening, say hi and I'll send you one of my hugs. It's not a Monday hug, it's a Friday hug. So I'm going to start talking anyway. You can always listen to this again later. Basically, I had just done... Oh, hi, Grace. Hello, darling. Nice to see you, hon. Some of you already know what I'm going to say anyway, because I know I spoke to you about it, Grace. But it's all about how the moon is going to affect us, not just this time, but for months ahead. In fact, into next year, into 24. So this is why I was so compelled and so excited. I'm really, really passionate about sharing what I've discovered. Yes, good afternoon to you too. It's normally good morning, isn't it? Or whatever. So I hope you're having a good day, Grace. Big hugs to you, my darling. So, okay, so I went to go onto YouTube and my guide said you have to listen to this one lady called Pam Gregory. Now, I'll give you those names again. The 3 of them I've referenced. I'll reference again at the end. But Pam Gregory, a lovely, lovely lady. I hadn't seen her before. I didn't know much about what she does, you know, with her astrology. But when I started listening to it, it made perfect sense as to what I was feeling on a personal level, but what a lot of other people are feeling too, on a collective level. Now, I'm quite good at tuning into, every day I do it for my work, and I do it generally when I put things up on Facebook, etc. I tune into the collective to find out what people are needing right now. And then my feelings about that is to support people. That's what I aim to do. And usually empower you with something that you can do to make yourself feel better in that, you know, perhaps any challenges you're facing. Because the moon brings up a lot of feelings, doesn't it? And we all know that the full moon does that anyway. Oh, thanks for the heart. So the full moon will bring up a lot of feelings from the bottom of your pond, if you like, your subconscious, your awareness of those things will be in, it'll be now. You'll be in your present moment, and you may be aware of insecurity or fear or worry or something of that nature. It might trigger you. People might trigger you, and you'll be more sensitive. Everyone knows this. All the emotions are on the surface of yourself. So that happens anyway in a full moon. But what about the lunar eclipse? That's even more powerful, and for lots of reasons. I am not an astrologer, but I do like astrology. And Pam Gregory, she puts it beautifully, and all the details are there, tells you why this is going to be so important for us for the next, well, up until 24. This is going to be something that keeps reoccurring. Those feelings of having to, you know, deal with things and have to change things and reform things. It is a really positive, wonderful energy coming into our lives. But we have to be ready for change, and quite often people aren't. They're scared of change, or they resist, or they don't feel comfortable with change unless they're in control of it. Pam Gregory will help you to understand that. She's got, if you want to look up her particular talk I'm referencing, it is on my Facebook page, but I'll give it to you now. It's Lunar Eclipse in Scorpio, May. That's what it says here. So if you type that into Google or YouTube, you should get Pam Gregory, Lunar Eclipse in Scorpio, May. Okay, she does lots of talks, but she makes perfect sense. And some of the things she was saying really resonated with me. So I thought, great, I shall make little mental notes about it and share it with you. Hi, Kelly, lovely to see you. So what I'm doing is just explaining why some of those things are going to be relative to some people and not to others. That's why we've got 3 examples here. So I'm suggesting you go to the 3 astrologers to find out what particular thing resonates with you. Might be one little sentence from one person. It might be something else from another. And even if you don't understand astrology or believe in it, I do feel in my heart that everybody is going to be going through some changes, and some people will have more of a challenge with that. So this is definitely going to help you to understand something. It's going to give you the power and the control over it, doesn't it? So if you can try and just resonate with some things that I give you from here today, that might just be the difference you need to override those challenges and to reform yourself and your life in a way that's really going to serve you. So the second one I looked at, I will go back to Pam in a minute. Very lovely lady. So New Paradigm Astrology. Look up that. He's definitely my favourite so far. I've always followed him. He's quite funny. I do like him. And he puts humour into everything he talks about, which is what people need right now. They need the lightheartedness of it all, don't they? So he was talking about the same kind of thing as everyone else, but puts it in a slightly different way, okay? And I will, as I say, go back to more things that he said later. But have a look at that and see if you can pick out things that you think that makes sense to me, and I resonate with that. Because everyone's got a different angle on the same thing, haven't they? And and we're in a Scorpio moon as well. He talks quite a lot about the Scorpio moon, because the Scorpio moon is about deep feelings. It's about the feelings coming up to the surface and deep emotions that we need to deal with that we may have been avoiding. And now's the time to look at them, to change our lives, to find the courage to move forward, because things around us are going to change. This is a whole time for Age of Aquarius. We're in Age of Aquarius as well. This is about finding our truth, about moving forward, about breaking down things that no longer serve us in all areas of our lives, in our work, in our relationships, in ourself, in our habits, in where we live. Everything has to be reevaluated, really, to find out if it does serve us. Does it make us feel good? And if we're in a place of feeling good, that's great. And if we're not in a place of feeling good, and we can measure that with those feelings, then we must change it. We must make some changes. And all we need is the courage and the self-belief to do that. And all of my talks that I've got on my website, very inspirational. They can help you in lots of areas of self-doubt, etc., etc. And they'll all help you to feel empowered. And you might just pick one of those talks out enough to get you to move forward. Oh, hi, Jane. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me on a Friday. I'm not doing Nan Talk next Monday because of the coronation, but the main thing I felt so passionate about is sharing with you, all of you that's going to be listening to this, is the opportunity to move forward in a big way now. Mankind is moving forward. The earth is moving forward. And I know we've got to break down an old shed to put a new shed up. And it's going to be messy, and it's going to be, you might doubt if it's ever going to be the same or ever be as good for you. But with every change, there's a new opportunity. And a change to grow, to evolve, and to really keep yourself in that mindful, positive place that you need to be. And right now, the stimulus around you, coming backwards and forwards with this emotional turmoil to the next year, we're going to be feeling lots of challenges that give us that opportunity, aren't we? So let's embrace them. Let's not run away from them. Let's see, what am I feeling? What can I give myself? What can I help myself with? So it's really about going inside yourself and finding your own truth, and allowing that truth to shine through, and for you to become more authentic and self-supporting and self-loving. And I shall cover that a bit more at the end. So we've talked about Pam Gregory, and she's brilliant at the facts, I found. Then we've got the New Paradigm Astrology, absolutely brilliant, to make you laugh and to make you understand what's going on. And maybe you might want to follow these people, because they will give you a regular monthly report about what the stars are doing, or how they affect you, how the planets affect you. And we are all affected by all the planets, but especially the moon, aren't we? The other person I was going to reference, where is she? Yeah, she just popped up last minute, really, and I don't know her at all. But she's called Alina Alive. And if you look up full moon, 5th of May, she's titled it 5 Things to Know. So if you want to look up that was very interesting too. If you want to do your own research, go on YouTube and type in about the lunar eclipse or the full moon, and you'll find out what's going on and how it's going to affect you in certain ways and what star sign you are. And something I glimpsed at yesterday was about, someone mentioned, I can't remember her name now actually, but go and find your own research. But she only glimpsed on for a minute, and she said that all the fixed signs of the zodiac, and you've got fixed and cardinal and multiple, and if you want to look those up, then perhaps do that another time. But the cardinal and multiple star signs are going to be more flexible with all the changes that are going on. But as a fixed sign, and I'm an Aquarius, and Scorpio, Taurus and Aries are all fixed. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have a little bit more of a challenge in that area because we quite often stay stubborn in our own little world and what we see. It takes a lot to get us moving out of that comfort zone and to trust the change that we need. So I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace every change I need. I'm just going to move forward every day with it. And as I said, there'll be good days as well with these challenges, but you'll be able to measure yourself at the end of this year or 24. Well, I changed my life here and here, and I made a difference here. I needed courage and I needed confidence to move forward, but I did it. And you'll measure yourself differently because of those things that you're working through, you know. So with this moon and the eclipse, it's going to bring change, whether you like it or not, whether we like it, it's going to happen. And it can happen on all levels: physical level, emotional level, circumstantial. It can be where you are, you want to do something radical and move, or leave something that you don't feel is serving you anymore. So there's lots of things can happen, and you might find you're just a bit more triggered than you would normally be. Hi Kev, it's nice to see you. So basically, we're all triggered on full moon anyway. But if you can be aware of what you're being triggered with, then you have a chance to change it. And you can give yourself the things you need from others. Nurture yourself. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself the way you would want to be treated by other people. And you will be in a good place. You'll be in a very wholesome place of self. So what can we do? All these things are just going to happen around us, like an old shed being broken down. We've got no shed. Now we're going to build a new one. Yes, it takes work. And we can do some work on ourselves every day and make a big difference and see a big change and measure that, as I say, in the future. We don't like to get out of our comfort zone. And I did a talk on that a couple of weeks back, but it is very good for you because that's where our growth is. We get really happy when we look back and thought, I did that. The satisfaction of self. It's well worth it. So yes, we're going to have lots of changes, and it's going to be world changes. It's going to be in every area that you can possibly imagine. But as I say, if we keep being positive and keep our mind focused on what we want, not what we don't want, then this is going to really help us. It's a bit like we're a boat in choppy seas. There's a big storm coming up, and we're going to feel better when we get through the storm. But we're a boat on the storm. There we are. And everyone else is up and down. If we can just focus on where we're going, we focus on what's important, the positive thing that we want, not the thing we don't want. This is really important that we stay positive and focused on where we're going and how to get there, because it takes a little bit more effort, more mindfulness, but this is what you need to think about, not this. If you think about what you don't want, you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to struggle because you're going to put energy to the thing you don't want. And at the moment, the moon is like a huge quartz crystal in the sky. It's going to amplify every thought you have. So if we can try and be mindful and just put our thoughts somewhere here to a positive thing that we want, not something we don't want. It takes some doing to start with, but then you get better and better the more you do it. And then you're protecting your body, you're protecting your mind, and most of all, you're protecting what you bring into your life by collective consciousness. All these chakra areas here will stay open. You won't worry, you won't get stressed. You won't be bogged down with too many thoughts. You'll be more productive. You'll be happier. You'll be in charge of your feelings. You know, you won't be a victim to them. You'll be a master of them. That might be a good one actually to write down. I'm no longer a victim to my feelings. I'm a master of them. Your subconscious is listening to every word. So if we're going to use the moon's energy, let's move it to something positive, not negative. You know, fears and worries can easily drag you down. And as I say, the moon amplifies those feelings that have always been there, but you have to recognize them and imagine the opposite of that, just for a few minutes, because that's going to help your body, your mind, and what you draw in. Great. So you can always cross that worry out, actually. I've written several notes here. Cross it out. Get into a habit when you find that you're worried about something or consumed with a thought over and over again. Cross it out. Maybe just think of the opposite. Maybe think that's going to happen instead. And you're distracted, or just basically you're detaching from it. You're not having it. You're saying, no, I'm not having that. I'm having something I want. And that shows a lot of mindfulness. This crystal, this keeps going wrong today. It's really funny. That's because it's a full moon. All gadgets go wrong on full moon, don't they? This is a green jasper. It's a beautiful piece, and I used it on the meditation, and I'm using it now to send energy to you while I talk to you. This particular one helps. I wonder why I loved it so much, but this helps you to avoid the effect of negative people around you. This is something else we have to be selective with. We cannot be subjecting ourselves to people who will bring our emotional balloon down. Bless them. You can support them, of course you can. You can love them if they're friends and family. But you do need to have some kind of intentional protection from that, because you don't want that going into your cell energy. It shuts down your energy systems here, and it also makes you feel emotionally low. And then it attracts more of those things into your life because you're feeling it. And the moon is going to amplify it. And that's going to come and go, as I say, for the whole year. So get yourself a crystal that you like. If you happen to want the green jasper here, that's fine. Make a note of it. There's another one I really would advise today that my guide said I have to tell you about, which is labradorite. Now you can get all different colours of that. It's sort of a greeny one, but usually they're quite blue. This is a very nice one to hold. Very good for stretching your intuition to give you a feeling of self-trust. If you could invest in one of those, maybe that might help you to trust yourself and your decisions and where you're going in life. When you have a challenge, maybe reach for one of those crystals and say, and set the intention that this is going to help you, because that's just one way of doing it. And if you don't, oh, hi Irene, it's lovely to see you, darling. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you've got any crystals. It's just an idea. As I say, some people prefer to have education or be influenced by someone else in some way, because that might be just the inspiration you need, So, yeah, I've got loads of lists written down here. Oh, one of the things that I looked at from Pam Gregory, she said something about toxic habits, people, lifestyles, behaviours. She was given the impression that we are going to be given the opportunity in this period of time, while this lunar eclipse is affecting us, for, as I say, for many months. We're given the opportunity to clear up toxic thoughts, toxic emotions, habits, things that don't serve you. Maybe you move away from people that are toxic. Lifestyle behaviours. Think about that. It's a nice opportunity to think, well, if I can clear myself of those things I've always had and taken for granted that I'm going to have forever, I can move from that and feel better and a higher vibration. I can be more me because of it, because I'm not bogged down by other people or things that are stopping me from being myself. And our habits and, as I say, our lifestyle. So basically, think about what it is that you'd like to change. Now's a good opportunity for you to say, this is what I'm going to be mindful of. I'm forming new habits. So I'm looking at my list here. Yeah, we need to be more self-aware to make those changes. We do. If we block them out and we say, I'm fine, this is all going to be fine, it's a load of rubbish or whatever view you have, that's still not addressing those things that you need to go inside yourself for. Everything, as I say, is going to be a trigger. And there's a little talk I did a long time ago called orange juice. And what it means is when you squeeze an orange, all you get is orange juice, because that's what's inside. Now, Wayne Dyer told this story. It's not mine. But I do give reference to it because it sort of explains that on our subconscious level, we store emotion, don't we? We store it in our tummies. We store it in our bodies. Well, you squeeze an orange, all you get is orange juice. If you take that metaphor to yourself, it doesn't matter who or what squeezes or evokes a feeling out of you, who triggers you with some emotional response. It is not actually him, her, or they that have actually caused this feeling to come to the surface. It's always been laying dormant. All they've done is bring that to your attention, bring that up to the surface of your mind. And that is the opportunity you've got to clean up your orange juice, to make you cleaner and clearer about what you want in your life and what isn't working for you. And if they've triggered a feeling, then you can then give yourself the thing you really need from it. Hi Sue, lovely to see you. I'll send you a hug. So if someone's made you angry, you support yourself. You validate yourself. It may be lots of gifts along the way. It might be patience or self-love or nurturing. Those things you're not getting from another person. Oh, hi Bex, lovely to see you. So if someone's treating you badly, maybe you need to treat yourself well. Give yourself the things you're not getting from other people. So if someone squeezes your orange juice and gives you a feeling, you think, I'm not happy with that, or I'm unhappy with this, or they've made me feel this, It's always been in there. They've just triggered it. It just happens to be that they're in that place in your consciousness where you get that opportunity to change it. So perhaps look at that. It's in the orange section of my Nan Talks if you want more on that. Okay. I know I'm going all over the place here, but tools are very important. You feel empowered when you use them. The wheel is quite good. I made up the thing called the wheel. It's in the red section of the Nan Talks, that one. And it's all about when you take yourself away from the people, away from all those influences, away from the people that are triggering you or squeezing your orange juice, and you take yourself in with a breath to an imaginary cartwheel in the center. Oh, hi Vanda, it's lovely to see you. Hope you're having a lovely day. So you take yourself in, and obviously the details of doing that will be on that talk, but basically you're taking a breath, you're imagining you're detached from the outside world to create what it is you feel you need in here. Is it love? Is it healing? What is it you need? And you'll get more, whatever that is, internally. When you breathe it in, you'll take the energy from that. The words, the mind will change, your synapses will change, you'll be more positive, and your body will respond to those thoughts, and everything will try and work well for you. Oh, I think someone else just came on here. Oh, that's nice, Bex. Thank you, darling. She loves my affirmation book. So we can help ourselves in lots of ways when we're triggered, and embrace those opportunities to move forward, like I keep saying. So what can we do? Scorpio moon, it's all going to come up to the surface. Why not write a list of what you want, not what you don't want? A quick list here I made. I started doing it. Maybe write it in a book so you don't lose it. But a few things you think, I want. These are want lists, really. And you focus on this. It could be that your children are safe. It could be that you have an easier life. It could be that you're abundant. It could be whatever you want. You could write in that list is I have. Almost like an affirmation of now. And use it tonight and the next few days. Or any full moon. My guides asked me to remind you not to throw the list away, but to add to it and use it again and again and again. So you're spending longer and longer with the same list. And as you get these things on the list, you just, oh, hi Kelly, lovely to see you. As you get the things on the list, which I expect you probably will, some of you will, because you're focused on it, then just say, I continue to enjoy this. So if you do find you have it, don't scrub it out. Just think, I continue to enjoy whatever it is you've attained from that. Using the moon's energy, using intentional thought. And it's really good because you feel like you've done something. When you've written a list, you feel in control because there's my order. I'm putting energy to that. Put a candle on and let that energy just focus your thoughts. Because candles, lovely, aren't they? Bit of flame going on there. Focus on the flame. Then focus on your list and try and do 10 seconds for each of them if you can. Because it's going to put you in a really good mood, isn't it? And when you've finished, blow the candle out and keep the list. Voila. Watch what happens. You never know. So I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh, another thing I want to talk about is how we're affected by other people on a bigger scale. Perhaps world events and things that are going on at the moment. Pam Gregory, did say something about watching a play. It's right at the end of her talk, so please watch it and you'll see what I mean. This is my interpretation of it. So there's a play going on, you're in a theatre, and all the actors are doing their thing, and suddenly the sound goes, and you can't hear them very well. So they're all trying to overcompensate, and they're shouting, and you can see things are gradually falling apart as you're watching this play. And so some people might continue to sit there and watch it all fall apart and not do anything about it. Just be part of it, watch it, and be there. But some people might choose to leave the theatre because it's not serving them, it's not working, it's chaos. So they leave the theatre. Where do they go? Go inside yourself. And this is what Pam suggests, and I totally agree with this, because that's why I suggested that we go inside with the wheel. That's a good exercise to support what I'm talking about now. So we go inside ourselves and we follow our own truth and we become grounded. Now she's suggesting you take a deep breath to do that. That's lovely. And if it works for you, that's perfect. It does for a lot of people, absolutely. But you can also find other ways to make you feel grounded. Maybe identify what those feelings are after you've got that feeling of groundedness. So you're not up here thinking and reacting with those triggers. If you go to my Nan Talks, you can go to the green section. That's the heart chakra. And you can pick up a talk called How to Stay Grounded. Now that's very good for you too, because you could just use breath, but you have an intention of moving down into the ground to really feel solid and safe. And that's a good place to be when you've got too much going on out here. So do you choose to be in the theatre, metaphorically, of the whole world's affairs? Or do you want to sit back and think, yeah, okay, I can see what's going on there, but I need to go back into me to see what I need so I can be the best version of myself? Because we're going to the biggest point I want to make today. It's all about collective consciousness. If we can work on ourselves and we make ourselves whole and happy and solid and safe and grounded and all that we can be, if we can stay positive in a world that's chaotic around us, then we will be a good influence on other people, our immediate family, friends, etc. But we'll be an influence on the whole collective consciousness. And the world needs to evolve now. So if you can create peace and self-love and self-support to yourself, you're helping everybody do the same thing. It's like the 100 monkey thing. I don't know if you know about this, but 100 monkeys on an island. One monkey picks up a tool to use it, the other monkey copies him, the other monkey copies him, and it goes all the way through. 99 monkeys are now using a tool. By the time the 100th monkey picks up the tool, another monkey on the other side of the world picks up a tool to use it. That is collective consciousness. As we evolve, the vibe moves across the world and people get it. They start to become evolved because we're evolving. So we are helping ourselves by staying positive, finding ways to do that, recognizing that when worries and fears drag us down, we have to do something about it. Otherwise we're still sitting in the theatre, as Pam would say. So we're still putting up with this without changing it. And if we can change ourselves, we're changing and helping to evolve ourselves and the world. So it's a lovely concept, isn't it? Finding ways to do that. Write the list, order it through the full moon. It's something you can do and hold on to. And it's very tangible because then you get to understand. You think, well, okay, how do I feel about that? I know what I don't want. Well, how about you put what you do want on the list? How about you move it to there? How about you listen to some of my Nan talks or some of the meditations I've done, especially the one I've just recently done, The Place of Transformation. It's on my site. And that's www.nancyfinch.co.uk if some of you have missed it. So go to that. Think about what we're talking about now and think, what do I need to release from me and what do I need to embrace? And I need courage. Okay, I'll have courage to move forward. But recognize things that don't serve you on the outside so that you can change yourself on the inside. Otherwise, you're just not aware and we can't move forward quick enough. So we might have more challenges, you know. And you deserve to feel the best you can be for yourself. And so maybe choose who you stay with, you know, who your people are. Make sure the people you're staying with or around, people you are experiencing, are a higher vibration. If it's, I've got a gauge, 1 to 10, under 5, get out, survive. Over 5, you've met your tribe. You need to be with people who support you, who give you strength, who get you, who understand you. And that's where your energy is going to rise because you need that. Everyone needs to support each other right now. So if you can do that, brilliant. But as I say, go back into yourself and realize what needs to change. Go to holistic meditations and yoga and practices that make you feel good. Think about what will support you in the next year while we're going through the effect of the lunar eclipse. Look up Pam Gregory, lunar eclipse in Scorpio, May. Look up New Paradigm, astrology, my favourite. And look up Alina Alive. And I don't really know much about her, but she did resonate a few things when she mentioned 5 things yesterday, which was quite good. Find some books to read or watch some podcasts. Educate yourself. Be aware of what's going on that level, on the collective level, and then see how you fit into it and what you need to do to change, to make your life better. Knock down the sheds that don't work, metaphorically, and build your new shed. You know, stay focused on what you want, not what you don't want. And just think, I give myself the things I need from others. It's very important. Okay? Now I'm just going to scan over here to see if I've forgotten anything, because you should see the state of that board. Crystals, I'll just recap. Crystals, they're really handy and useful, and they give you something tangible to hold. They give you something that you can do with that and intend. So yeah, that helps you, that's great. I'm certainly going to be using mine, because if you're not selective over who you mix with and who you're around, the energy, you might need a bigger crystal to protect you from it. You've got to be selective. Recognize your fears and worries. Change them, otherwise they affect your body. They affect what you attract. And know that you're doing not only yourself good, but the whole world. And do whatever it takes to get you into that place. I think that's everything on my board. Most of all, I'm going to say one more thing. Love yourself. Really love who you are. Don't judge yourself. Love yourself every day. Support yourself every day. Treat yourself every day to something that nurtures you and keeps that emotional balloon high. Because that's where the power is going to be to change your life. And that's going to help other people, your family, your friends, and the world. So, can you please share this with other people? Realize that when we have a full moon, we've got a giant metaphoric quartz crystal in the sky. Let's use it. Let's use it to move forward with what we want, not what we don't want. You know, write your list. See what it is you want to focus on. And enjoy the full moon. And enjoy the meditations I've got on my site. They will calm you and ground you. And enjoy being active in changing your life. So, I think that's everything. Yes, it certainly is. I've done everything on there. Enjoy what I've suggested, or find your own. Maybe look up your own research on full moon or lunar eclipse. Do that today if you want to. Be empowered. Whatever you find will be right for you. So it doesn't have to be what I've suggested. It'll be whatever's right for you. That'll just naturally come into your consciousness. Good. I think I've gone on more than I planned to today. If anyone wants to ask me any questions about this or wants to talk to me, you can go to my email, nancyfinch@hotmail.co.uk. Lovely. Oh, thank you, Jane. Oh, I hope some of it's made sense to you, darling, because you will find not just this full moon over the next year. There's going to be challenges all around you in lots of ways. This is a good time to remember. We're only breaking down sheds. We're going to put a new shed up. Okay, it's worth every bit of effort, and it's worth the chaos to see the result. Okay, lots of love to all of you. Have a lovely weekend, and I shall see you for the next Nan talk in a couple of weeks probably. And I hope you all stay well and happy and really enjoy the energy of the moon and let it change you for the better. Lots of love to all of you. Take care. Bye.